What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Today's episode, we have our Week 11 fantasy matchups. We're breaking down our favorite starts, sits, and sleepers, going game-by-game preview, giving us all our favorite plays and our least favorite plays, where we like to make our favorite points of attack in every single matchup. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Trophy Smack. Head over to Trophy Smack, guys. Get yourself that fantasy football trophy. Go to www.trophysmack.com/dudes. 15% off your whole entire order. It's never too early to get all that fantasy football goodness. And with all that, guys, I am going to throw it over to my dudes, not my favorite dudes, but I'm joined by Seth, Phil, and Jordan. Pumpkin Spice Latte season, aka PSL season, is kind of out. It's over, you know.
No,
it's not full effect. It's over. PSL season's over, Phil. It is October.
It's early November.
Look up the Starbucks menu, man. I know you're a frequent drinker there, but it is almost time to crack out the eggnog. Yeah, peppermint mocha. They got the penguin cookies. They canceled the snowman cookie. Not sure why, but it's time. The penguin cookies there.
What's that flower you have on your hat? Is that a California flower?
This is a hotel I went to in Hawaii.
Oh, it looked like a cookies hat.
I wish. But yeah, so anyways, you can talk about cookies more, Phil, when you're done talking about the band workouts you do every single day. It's so annoying. Phil's singing.
Oh, yes. No, that is something we need to talk about. Trent does band workouts. Can you guys believe that? Jordan, he says, hey, I don't get out of the house a lot because I just had a kid. He said, I don't get out of the house much because I just had a kid. Sorry, I was doing a band workout when you called me. And I said, excuse me, what? Like, the guy warms up with a shake weight and then works out with bands. Like, what on earth are we?
Phil, you drive with a mouthpiece. I don't know what the big deal is.
I was like, who does? Yeah, Tom Brady is the only one who can actually get away with doing band workouts. Like, what?
I think if I'm just going to buy bands, I think I'm just going to buy weights.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, where are you going to store them, Seth?
Yeah, I don't know, Trent. You have a garage. You also have a podcast room that's no longer for podcasts.
Well, when the city didn't let me put the 5 extra feet on it, I wanted to put on that kind of cut out the weight room idea. So yeah, this was supposed to be 5 feet longer. So thanks.
Yeah, you're gonna put a 5 feet box for a squat rack, Trent. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm not talking about a squat rack. I'm talking about like dumbbells.
Easy. Seth, I had your back for like 2 minutes there. You can
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Hey. Hey, this is a family-friendly show, Seth.
This is America.
Okay, well,
it's 2024, guys. We can say whatever the heck we want.
Okay, and now
not wrong.
I don't know where to go with that, but yeah. Speaking of band workouts, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about that because I was going to say something else, but I think probably enough missiles have been dropped on this thing. So Week 11 is here. Like I said, pumpkin spice latte season is over. Phil acted like he goes to Starbucks. That was a lie.
I do go to Starbucks every day.
Well, try to order a pumpkin spice latte, Phil. Do us a favor. Try to do that.
If you go to Starbucks every day, I don't want you to ever hear you complain about something being too expensive ever again.
It's true.
If you go to Starbucks every day, I don't want you to hear say, man, that $10 league is too much for me. I don't want you to.
It's $2 a day. It's $2 a day.
No,
there's no way you paid $2 a day.
There's no way. You spent at least 10
for black coffee.
You're only getting a black coffee?
You're getting a black coffee? I'm sorry.
And you go buy yourself
a pot at
home. Drive to Starbucks, go get a black coffee every day.
Yeah. Nice little commute to work.
All right.
People who are just oh my goodness.
This is a completely normal thing.
You don't buy your kids things when you go with them.
You go by yourself.
I will take my youngest daughter to give my wife a time to take a break. She does not get anything because she's too little. And then on Fridays, every once in a while, I'll buy my kids, or Fridays or Saturdays, we'll have a Starbucks breakfast.
Still 2 times 6, Phil, every week for a month.
Do the math there. I want to hear you do it.
You're throwing a lot of money away. Well, I think it's $5 a day. So I think you're spending 30. I think you're spending $30 a week.
Black coffee
you're
at Starbucks is not $2.
Yeah. No, it's like $3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. So I'll do the math when you actually know how much money you're spending. Yeah. We got Phil Ramsey on the pod. So Anyways, yeah. So
I'm gonna go back
the
to
things
my
Phil
previous
does
orders.
for the things Phil does for a to become a gold member, but this is riveting.
You telling me you buy a tall at $2.95?
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh!
Buy yourself a coffee machine. Anyways,
it actually save money.
Yeah, right there, and make it better. Boom.
Life's not all about saving money, guys.
That's his guilty splurge. Okay, guys, let's break this off into the preview. Getting to week 11. We'll kick this off with Thursday night football. Thursday night football's preview is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is our favorite place for DFS. Head over to Underdog. They got best ball drafts. You can draft weekly with a group of friends, people you don't know, put a little bit of money in, win a little bit of money. Right now for Thursday night football, I got some of the lines for Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels. You can, take the higher or the lower on Jaden Daniels at 226.5 passing yards, or you can take Jalen Hurts for higher or lower on rushing touchdowns, pass attempts, passing yards, passing TDs. They got all that stuff over there at Underdog, guys. So Phil, actually Jordan, before we jump into Thursday night football, what are the totals from last week?
Yeah, so very bunched up last week.
I think I had the worst week.
Yeah, so Seth and Phil
plus your
both
picks
went 8-8. That can't be right. Let me see. 7 and
Seth
7.
is not
Sorry,
nearly
you guys
that
both
smart.
went 7 and 7.
Dude, the picking twins did it again, Jordan. They both go exactly the same every single week.
And then, but Trent, here's the problem. You and I both went 9 and 5.
I sent it.
We both went 9 and 5. So we tied. So that brings us to Trent is now in the lead at 3.5 wins. Seth has 3. Phil has 2. And I am hot on the chase on Phil with 1.5.
I was dabbing just now.
Sweet.
And we have what? We have 8 weeks to go. 9 weeks to go.
8 weeks to go. You can run the table, Jordan, and really take over here.
Run it. All right, Phil, give us the lines for Thursday night football, buddy. Do you prefer Buddy or Bubba? Let me know.
Bubba. Okay. All right. Bubby. All right, moving on here. We have Thursday night football here. We have Commanders at Eagles. Eagles are currently favored by 3.5. And Trent, you have a sit in this game. Commanders coming off a tough loss. Trent, go ahead with your sit.
All right. Coming off a tough loss, like you said, I don't really like it. I just don't like this matchup really in general for the Eagles is what comes or for the Commanders. Honestly, I got Brian Robinson as my sit. Eagles are giving up 10.8 half-point PPR points per game to running backs and only allowing 76 rushing yards per game to running backs. So I really don't love the matchup for anyone on the Commanders side of the ball. I really don't like it for the running back side of the ball. Yeah, you might get some, he might catch some receptions, stuff like that. It's his first game back. I don't know if this will turn into an Eckler game. I don't know with the hamstring if it's going to be full all gas, all brakes quite yet for Brian Robinson. So at this point, I'm going to sit him, wait a little bit longer. Thursday night football, I'm not a fan of rushing guys back on that anyways. But other than my sit here, what is everyone else thinking in this game? Jordan, I don't like this spot for Terry McLaurin either. But with how good he's been this whole season, it's hard to sit Terry McLaurin because he's third in the NFL in receiving yards. But Kenyon Mitchell,
I think it's fine.
Is locking people down.
Fine. Yeah, I don't know.
The corners are really good over there. Terry is third in the NFL in receiving yards, while Mitchell has been locking down star wide receivers all season long. So, and then you got Cooper DeJean, who's playing pretty well on the other side too.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but like it's a 48.5 total. They're gonna score. They're gonna move the ball. Like I don't know. I just trust Terry here in this. I just think he's too good.
Yeah. No, that's why I couldn't you just look at his stats every single week with what he does. And it's hard to make yourself do that because what is he like in fantasy football? In one of my leagues, he is wide receiver 5 at the moment in this league. So definitely top 5 in all leagues, I would say. Probably. Any other plays you like? You're playing Saquon Barkley in this one. You're playing AJ Brown. What are we thinking about Devonta Smith? Do we want to keep playing Devonta Smith?
You just got to play him.
Maybe more points, maybe equals more opportunities. Seth, how you feeling with Barkley, Hurts? What are you thinking?
I just like the Eagles overall here. I probably like AJ Brown the best. I think the Commanders are a little more vulnerable through the air, but also Barkley's a beast. So
yeah. Also, Eagles are only giving up 13. Or where am I? Sorry, to quarterbacks. Eagles are giving up. It's just a pretty good defense last year. So they're the 29th best matchup for quarterbacks. They're giving up 11.8 points per game to quarterbacks. I want to see how Jaden Daniels bounces back from that rough outing he had last week on a short week. Rookie quarterback. This game is in Philadelphia, so a little hostile environment. So I don't know. Anything else we want to say here? Just play your studs and move on. Is that kind of what we're thinking?
Yeah.
No sleepers.
Sounds about right.
Luke McCaffrey got on the stat sheet last week, Jordan. I thought that'd make you a little bit proud.
Yeah, you just can't. Yeah, you just can't trust him though.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, I think. I thought if it had been a little bit better matchup, I kind of like, this isn't the right one. Noah Brown is getting targets. He's not converting on them though. So like, I do think he is still one of those guys I kind of like. Keep bringing him up on the waiver show, which I have every single Monday. And also, guys, head over to YouTube at TFF Dudes, where Jordan and Seth have their underdog pick show every single
Give out dating
Friday.
Advice,
cooking advice, whatever you want to do. It's a decent show. I don't mind it.
Seth majored in home ec, although he's a couple units short of his degree. Hey, how did no one say, dude, they're gonna try and draw you off sides for the Commanders? Like, everyone in that entire stadium, their mother's mother.
No, it's true.
If you had a beating heart, you knew that they were going to try and draw you off sides. The dude jumped off sides like the first hut. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't know what that dude was thinking, but he wasn't thinking. That's clear. I just can't believe that he did that. It's just crazy to me.
He's probably on smelling salts.
Yeah, hey, those do affect you. Seth admitted it on the pod. That's Pop Warner stuff.
It's Pop Warner stuff.
You can't. I will say though, Russ is like a veteran QB, and Russ. We'll get to Russ later. Like Jordan is just he's ready to talk about Russ later, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm going to say Eagles win this one. Anyone going Commanders? Phil, you got your Russ, little extra Russ stuff. You going Commanders, Seth, or Eagles?
Eagles.
Jordan?
I need a dub. I'm going Commanders.
It's a tough spot.
I'm going to go Commanders too.
Commanders are 7-3.
I think it's a 50-50 game here, to be honest.
Hurts is playing good. Barkley's playing good. Like just looking at the running back game, like what Barkley had a bad game against Dallas. I don't know if that's just Parsons being back or they just could throw a lot. Even like first
they just got up on him.
It's bad game script. The game script is bad, Trent.
But I would have thought that they'd run the ball more if they got up on him. Commanders are middle of the pack.
Oh no, Trent. They were running Kenneth Gainwell the whole second half.
Yeah, and short fields too. They got a lot of short fields.
Yeah, no, it was a bad. Yeah. Trust me, I was letting Saquon rush yards last week like no other. So,
Okay, let's hop on to the next one, Phil.
All right, nexty. We have the Browns at the Saints. Current total right now is 44.5. New Orleans currently favored by 1.5. Trent, you have a start, and then Seth, you have a sit. Oh, excuse me, you have a sleeper. Trent, you want to start?
I have a sleeper. Let's see here what we got here first.
I said you have a start. You have a start.
I have a start here. I feel like Seth this is a sleeper. Maybe this just kind of will ease people a little bit, make them feel a little bit better, a little warm and fuzzy. I don't know. I do like the matchup for this guy, though. I got Nick Chub, fresh off the bye. Chub, I think, is ready to get cooking. I think the bye week, everything. I think he's getting better every single week. Don't get lost the Jameis Winston revenge game narrative. I think Nick Chubb can get it done here. Saints are the third best matchup for running backs. They are allowing 24.2, fantasy points per game. They're also giving up 113 rushing yards on the ground per game to running backs. And I think this is just a really good spot for Nick Chubb to get his sea legs back, is what I like to say. So I like Nick Chubb in this spot. I think he can start him, and I feel good. I feel good about this spot for Nick Chubb. So I didn't look at what he was ranked completely this week. Maybe he's ranked pretty high, but this is just a matchup play. I think you're getting a top 10 running back finish out of Nick Chubb. Finally, for those of you that held on to him this long. Seth, you want to go to there? Then we can go break down more.
I have, are you saying get to my sleeper or okay. I have Cedric Tillman as my sleeper. So absurdly, for I don't know what reason, he's ranked outside the top 25, at least according to sleeper projections. I believe it's wide receiver 29. So that puts him in like the wide receiver 3 range for some reason. And this guy's been an absolute monster since he's been wide receiver 1 at the Browns. Believe he has over 280 yards in the last 3 games coming off a bye week. Yeah, he's averaging 11 targets and 7 catches, and he has 3 touchdowns in that 3-game span. Really, he's going to finish as a wide receiver 1 this week. Honestly, I want to say it's like its second start for me. It feels like that, but really, I mean, ranked this far outside of the top 25 receivers just seems like it's more of a sleeper. His roster percentage is higher now, but his start percentage is still somewhat kind of low. I have DeAndre Hopkins in a league, and I'm starting Cedric Tillman over him. So I really like him this week. I want to say it's a sleeper, but it's like a sleeper / start for me. I really like this play. I also like, we talked about a little bit on our prop show, but I really like his yard total too. I believe it's in the 60s. There's no way he finishes, I think, this game below 70 yards. Like he should be in the 80s.
Don't give away all the prop show, Seth. Like, give them a little bit of cheese. Don't give them all of it. If they get the milk for free, they don't need the cow. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've always heard. Jordan, what are you thinking in this whole game here? You like it? You dislike it? You want to play MVS? You want to talk about MVS or no?
No, I don't want to. MVS does not deserve to be talked about. And actually, I'm probably going to bring him up later. So we'll get to MVS later. No. So Trent, my only concern with your Nick Chubb start, you're not worried about his snaps, the workload.
I'm thinking after the bye, I'm hoping that he's that's the only reason I did is I like the matchup, and I thought coming off the bye it would be a place where they're like, hey, we're going to give him the ball more, because looking at his game log, he's been about 60. He was 61% versus Baltimore. It did come down versus the Ravens. I think that was more because they were passing stuff like that. I just think it was a bad matchup. I think they
also Jerome Ford was back. So the first 2 weeks Chubb was in, Jerome Ford didn't play. I agree. It's a great spot. I would just kind of off the bye, maybe his snap percentage comes back.
I'm playing off the bye. Like, he had 15 rushing attempts versus the Chargers. He had 16 rushing attempts versus the Ravens, and he had 11 versus Cincinnati. So I'm hoping Sleeper's projecting him. The line on attempts is 14.5 on a Sleeper. If you want to go over there, enter promo code DUDES100, and that shipped $100. But their line for rushing attempts is 14.5 right now. So you would think if Nick Chubb gets 14 and over 14 rushing attempts, he could have a good game in this matchup, is kind of where I'm thinking. Yeah. And then 55.5 is the rushing total prop as well. So I thought about that. I'm just thinking off the bye week. I'm thinking he should be ready to go. And I don't hate Jameis in this game either. Like, I probably like Cedric Tillman and Chubb more than Jameis. I think there's better places to go. I think there's better streaming options, but probably need to see a little bit more of Jameis and be a little bit better matchup before we just go on Jameis. Because this Saints team showed a little bit more life last week. I don't know if that's the new coach or what it was, but they played the Falcons tough, and did they hold them to 17 points? Does that sound right versus the Falcons? It wasn't a ton of points.
20, right? Oh, it's 15. Oh, wait. No. They held them.
Help 20. The game score was 23-20, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure. I also want to say...
It was 17. No, it was 17 points. 17, you're right, Trent.
Yeah. Younghoe Koo also missed like 4 field goals, though. So that guy is no longer on my roster. That's like back-to-back weeks. I think that guy's totally lost it. So, Other guys in this game, Saints, do you want to play any of I still think this is a good Taysom Hill spot. I'm playing Taysom Hill. Seth had Taysom Hill as a sleeper of the week last week. He had an 88-yard touchdown that got called back for holding. So he gets that touchdown. It was a touchdown catch. He has a really nice day. So I think as long as Olave's out and pretty much everyone's out over there, I think you can keep playing Taysom Hill because he's getting carries. He might get a throw. So keep playing Taysom
Jordan,
Hill.
Has this guy always been a Saints fan? I mean, ever since Derek Carr probably went over there, but this guy spends way too much time talking about the Saints each week. Do you feel the same?
He likes the Saints. I don't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. The Derek Carr, when
I think
Derek
it's because
Carr's playing,
he was told his whole life how bad New Orleans was as a city that he just decided I'm going to be a Saints fan just to rebel.
The best thing about no. Here's the idea with the Saints. Chris Olave, absolute jackwagon, has messed me up every single time I've drafted him in fantasy football. Jordan knows how that's going. Michael Thomas, jackwagon number 1, so it's just anytime I draft a Saints wide receiver, just know they will do absolutely zilch that whole entire season. And I'll probably put, in their career as well. Like, do we think Olave comes back, Jordan? Or I had a guy saying on X, he's not sure if Olave comes back and you should try to trade him. What is it? His third concussion in like a year?
Him.
You can't trade him, but
there's no, you're not going to get anything for him.
Yeah. Well, what are we thinking on Olave? Like, does he come back? Does he not?
He's on IR. He's on injured reserve.
He's like borderline, like the Tua version of receivers, though.
Yeah. Well, Derek Carr throws him hospital balls every time. What do you expect?
Yeah. And yet you still love Derek Carr. It makes me sick, Trent.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely.
Michael Thomas did go off about that.
The coach, he did. Yeah, I did actually like Derek Carr's response to what he said. But, I mean, the coach from the Saints was fired both times with Derek Carr as his QB. Just absolutely wild.
Well, I don't know why that guy's why he's still a coach. He's horrible.
Yeah.
Or he's not a coach anymore. Like, his overall record has never been good, even before Derek Carr. I don't remember where he coached before, but like, he does not. It's amazing how these coaches just get protected and keep getting hired.
Yeah.
Is it Dennis Allen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how they keep
We've
going.
We've probably spent way too much time
on this one.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We have. All right.
Yeah,
so
we got all your
going,
Browns and Saints insiders here on the dudes.
I'm going Browns.
Dang it, Seth.
Phil,
I'm
you
taking
can take
Browns.
them first, and Seth can. Yeah, the Super Bowl probably. I'm going to go Browns as well.
I'm going New Orleans.
All right. What do we got next, Phil?
All right, moving on here. We have Ravens at Steelers setting up to be a really good game. What time is this game, Jordy? Is this the what time is this game? Is
this a 10 a.m. Pacific? Wait. Who'd you say?
Ravens at
here,
Steelers.
Phil? Ravens at Steelers is a 10 a.m. game. Don't know why that is.
Yeah, I feel like this should be a better game, right? I mean, a better time game. Ravens at Steelers.
No, just East Coast should not be a 10 a.m. kickoff. Oh, no, that is the one that's 10 a.m. My bad. Never mind. Sorry.
No, it's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. East Coast.
+3.
Yeah, no, I know.
You sure?
Just keep going, Phil. Just keep going. My biggest bone to pick with the NFL is why do we only get like four games in the afternoon? Like, make one of these guys play a little bit later in the day. No, there should be.
You have a problem with time zones? Talk to our founding fathers.
You can still play later in the day, Phil. They have lights in stadiums. Not sure if you're aware of that, but they could play a little later in the afternoon and give us a couple more games in the afternoon slate. That's all.
All right. Do your thing, big guy.
Founding fathers, I don't think created time zones either. So read a history book.
They set the foundation of people who created the time zones. That's what I'm saying. You just got to start from the top. All right, moving on. 48.5. Baltimore currently favored by 3.5. Seth, you have a start in this game. I love it. You've been a hater of this guy most of the season. You're finally seeing the light. Jordan, you have a sit, and also Seth, you have a sit. So go ahead, Seth, eat crow, and tell us what you got to say about this guy.
I'm not eating crow. But he will be featured also in our underdog prop show. But my start this week is Russell Wilson. He's projected around, I think it's QB 12. But I really think he's going to finish top 5. Ravens defense is absolutely atrocious against the pass, giving up an average of 314 yards, and they're averaging 2 passing touchdowns. And I really think Russell Wilson is going to finish right around this number. Like, I think that's what it is. I think the Ravens run defense is actually pretty good. But I think that's partly due to teams willing to just throw the ball because their secondary is so bad. We've seen what Joe Burrow's done to him, and I'm not calling Russell Wilson Joe Burrow, but I do think Russell Wilson on this Steelers team is a little more like Russell Wilson when he played on the Seahawks. Has a good defense behind him, is a run-first team, and they complement that with the pass. And I think Russell Wilson fits this style of team, so I really like him this week. I think you can expect those average numbers that I just gave out. Like, I think 300-yard Russell Wilson game, 2 touchdowns. It's a pretty darn good game. If you can pick him up and stream him this week, I know maybe not everyone has him, but if you can do it, I got snaked this week out of my league. I have Jared Goff, and I tried to get Russell Wilson, and I wish I did it last week, but is what it is.
Yeah, he's only 48% rostered on Sleeper right now, so he's
like you need to roster him and start him. Is what I'm saying. Like, if you don't have a top 5 QB, I think you start him.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, if you look at YouTube right now at TFF Dudes, Phil is drooling hearing all that stuff about Russell Wilson. But Jordan has a sit in this game that we need to hand it off to, right?
Jordan has a sit, and then Seth has a sit. We probably could have just left Seth keep talking, go to a sit. But you know what, Trent? Hey, you run the show. We'll let you do it.
Let me just explain this to you. Yes, Phil, that would have been very smart. But when I put the slides in the slideshow on Canva, that's not the order it was. So that's why.
Okay. Hey, no worries, big guy. Go ahead, Jordan.
Right, hey. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I got to sit in this game. I got Najee Harris to sit. Baltimore allows the 6th least fantasy points to running backs, 2nd least amount of yards to running backs. Baltimore, like Seth has talked about, pretty big pass funnel here. They're going to force him to throw the ball. They're going to stop the run. And on top of all that, Najee's only playing 50% snaps with Jaylen Warren back. So he was up in the high 60s, low 70s. And now he's back down to like 47, 48, 49% snaps with Jaylen Warren back. So they get behind this game. I think Baltimore is, what do we got? Baltimore's a slight favorite here. So, but they are playing at home. But I just don't like Najee. This Baltimore rush defense shuts down the run. And Jaylen Warren is kind of more of the pass catching back there. So don't like Najee this week.
Jordan, I almost made this as my sit as well. Like, I kind of was leaning towards it. The only thing that's just been hard with Najee is the Steelers run the ball in the red zone is the only reason why I didn't do it. Is I thought, which I guess you can have a rushing touchdown and still only score like 9 points or whatever. But that was what kind of made me.
So like the Ravens are like middle of the pack.
They're so good against
rushing touchdowns. Like,
yeah,
they're giving up 5, but like, I don't know. I just don't really see it. Like, I'm trying to see.
Warren was a hot waiver wire ad this week. A lot of guys were going after Warren.
Baltimore allows the least amount of yards per attempt, Trent. 3.4 rushing yards per attempt.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, they're really good.
Warren looks good. So it looks like he's finally back. Seth, you have a sit as well. You know that everyone will be shocked about this one. I think you might need to let this one go.
Nope, I'm finally getting this one right, is what I put in the show notes. I'm finally getting this one right.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Go.
Zay Flower, sit him. Okay. I think the Ravens are going to be a little bit shocked about how good this Pittsburgh defense is. Pittsburgh's going to come in and want to show a statement that they have the best defense in the league, which I think they do. And I still think the Ravens are going to win. But Zay Flowers either has a boom game or has a bust game. Okay. There's no really in between except maybe week 1, which he had a decent middle of the road game. He's either boom or bust. And every time I've telling you he's a bust, he's boomed. But now I'm telling you, 3rd time's the charm. Okay. He's going to bust, and he's going to bust this week. Okay. Sit Zay Flowers.
Just some Zay Flower stats for you all. He is getting the ball 54% of the time on play action, 26% of the getting 26% target share, 84% of his targets are catchable. Yeah. Third and fourth down targets, he's getting 29% of those. So he is definitely a guy that is getting a lot of action right now, Zay Flowers. So I don't like your sit, Seth, but if you want to keep, Teddy Roosevelt said when a horse is dead, dismount. But if you want to just keep going after this, I guess that's fine.
Albeit.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson, Jordan. Mike Tomlin said, they asked him a question. He said, to be honest, he said something along the lines of to be honest, there wasn't a lot of film on him, but I did see someone say that Deontay Johnson did get targets in 40% of the snaps he played last week. So yes, he played 5 snaps, but he got, 40% of those snaps he did get targeted. I would not be, I think he, at some point this season, I don't know if it's here, he gets going at some point, because Lamar Jackson said before, where you go into a game and he starts throwing their third string tight end, Kohler gets a touchdown or whatever. So there's really no telling. He is tight end 3 there right now, projected to get 6.8 fantasy points. I know it didn't end great there in Pittsburgh, but you can't play him yet. Maybe in a deep league, which is unfortunate. But anything else we want to cover on this game? What
you're gonna talk about Mike Williams next?
Mike Williams, I forgot about that. I am the Mike Williams, fan club president. I
used to like the Chargers.
No, I've always been a Mike Williams guy. I think he was one of my dudes a couple years ago, and he had a pretty good season. Caught a TD last week. I think it's a good spot for him. I think if you have to play him, you can play him. I know it was only one pass, but that I think they target the Ravens where they have to. And I think Mike Williams gets more and more involved. #red line. If you don't know what that means, that's what Aaron Rodgers said was one of the reasons why they got rid of Mike Williams at New York. So he left the terrible New York Jets to go to the Steelers, where they are competing for an AFC North championship. Jordan, anything else you want here on this game?
No, I think you guys pretty much covered it all.
Yeah, play Derrick Henry. Mark Andrews is probably touchdown dependent, like I say every single week. I like George Pickens too. Fire up Pickens.
George Pickens is in an awesome spot.
GP.
People are like, that catch he made last week. There's a lot of guys out on X saying George Pickens is a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. So we'll see if he's always getting that kind of volume.
Super talented.
Yeah. So I'm going Steve. What, Phil?
He's got the chirp of DK Metcalf and AJ Brown, but then he's got the body of he's kind of in between DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He's so chirpy and goes at people, but it's dude, you're not that big of a guy. Some linebackers just gonna light you up like a Christmas tree. It's so funny.
Yeah. 6'3", 200 pounds. So he would be the lightest guy on this pod. Yeah, he hasn't got the targets are starting to shoot up there. I'm going Steelers win this game. Anyone going? Oh man, Ravens are so good. I'm gonna go Steelers. Ravens. I'm going Steelers at
Ravens.
home.
I'm going Ravens. Ravens. As much as I love Russ, I'd rather be wrong. All right, moving on to Falcons.
You backstabbing son of a gun, Phil. That is not you to go after Russ.
You probably just reported Peanut, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Is that our third Peanut Peanut reference in this pod? Anyways,
I feel
okay.
Yeah, Peanut, Harambe, both of them legends. All right, moving on here. Falcons at Broncos. Broncos currently favored by 2.5 with the total at 43.5. Wild, in my opinion, that Denver's favored. You would think that coming in here, Falcons might be a little bit better, given that just thinking that they would be better. They're not. Trent, you have a sleeper in this game. Jordan, you have a start. Let's go with Jordan's start, and then let's go with Trent sleeper. Is that all right with you guys? No, actually, you have the slides backwards.
No. I fixed it now. Just know, future reference, whoever's keyed up in the far left is who's next, just to help you out. We've only been doing this pod for 3 years.
You are correct. We've only been doing this pod for 3 years, and it's embarrassing that I continue to not be able to control it. Jordan,
We've never
you're
had
up.
slides till this year, so
Fair point.
All right, my start is Cortland Sutton. Atlanta's a top 10 matchup for wide receivers. Sutton's been just a target monster the last 3 weeks. He has 11, 10, 9 targets last 3. In those 3 weeks, he has 8 catches for 100 yards, 7 catches for 122 yards. And then last week, 6 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. So he's just getting a ton of volume from Bo Nix. Bo Nix is developing and getting better as every week goes on. So, I was a little bit wrong about this Broncos passing offense with Nix, and Sutton looks great. Ever since he had the 0 for 0 game on primetime, he's just been a monster. And then last week, the aforementioned MVS just absolutely torches Atlanta secondary. So if MVS can do it and catch a ball against this team, so can Cortland Sutton.
there we go. We
point.
got the MVS talk came back. So he's kind of been a popular guy, I would say, on this pod in the past.
Guy sucks.
My play. I'm surprised you're saying that, Jordan. That might be like a first for you on this pod. Behind
that
closed
MVS
doors,
sucks.
Plenty. Yeah, behind closed doors, I feel like you've said it a lot. But on this pod, you like MVS going into seasons. You liked him. Going into seasons, you've liked him.
MVS?
Yeah, I thought when he was on the Chiefs, you kind of liked him in the off season.
Well, the guy dropped a football the first game. The guy has stone hands. He runs like a gazelle and has the hands of a statue.
Jackalope. Okay. All right. My sleeper of the week here. I got Devaughn Vele. Did I say that right, Jordan?
I think so.
Devaughn Vele. He went 4 for 4 last week for 39 yards. Had a TD against the Chiefs. It was a nice catch too. Tough defense this week. Like Jordan said, much better matchup for him this week. And I did not realize we had 2 wide receivers as plays in this game. Falcons are allowing 35 PPR points per game to the wide receivers, making him the 6th best fantasy matchup for fantasy wide receivers. And for QBs, the Falcons are the 12th best matchup, giving up 16.2 fantasy points per game. I like this opportunity to keep the chemistry for Bo Nix to keep developing the chemistry with Devaughn Vele. So, Bo Nix, Devaughn, and with his fellow rookie rally pal, Devaughn Vele, I think it's a good spot. Like Jordan said, we just saw what MVS did in this game. And Bo Nix, great guy to stream still. He is still way under rostered, I believe. Running backs in this game. What are we thinking, Jordan? I did some bidding on Audric Estime. Is that how you say it? I was listening to a pod and they were saying Estime. I thought I heard Estime earlier in the season by somebody, but anyways, that's besides the point. Decent spot. He got a lot more carries than everyone else.
I don't trust any of these Denver running backs, to be honest.
Yeah. I felt like I said Jackalope earlier, but I did a bid on him and I didn't think I'd get him at $12 fab and then no one else bid. And that's kind of been all over the place. Like, cause I do that waiver, waiver ads that shock you each week. And there was a lot of guys who bid on Estime and it was high, like kind of where I was, were like below $20 and they were just the only guys. So I guess there's one knucklehead per league, which is fair to say. Decent spot for Bijan. Broncos aren't like super tough against the run.
They're better against the pass than they are against the run.
Yeah. So Broncos are middle of the pack, 12th best. They're giving up 20.3 half point PPR points to the running back. Be nice if he could get all the goal line carries. Fire up Drake London, Darnell Mooney. Maybe not Mooney, Jordan. Maybe just Drake.
I think Mooney's fine. I think they're both fine.
Yeah. So fire up your guy. This could be a decent game. Total's 43.5. That's actually pretty low. But I don't think there's anything else we need to cover in this. Maybe not a great Kirk Cousins spot.
No, I don't really like Kirk here.
I'm going to say Denver. I'm going Denver. Broncos country. Let's ride.
I am going. No, you know what? I'm going Atlanta.
Seth, you going to take Atlanta too?
I'm going Broncos, actually.
Cool. This is my get ahead game. All right. Next game we have a cat fight. Meow. That's the notes that Trent left for me.
That is not true. That is not true. You're just very strange.
It literally has your name hovering above it, so that's funny.
Jaguars at Lions. Current total right now is 47.5. Detroit favored by 1 million. Just kidding. It's only 13.5. Jordan, you
close to 1 million.
Close to 1 million. Jordan, you have a sleeper in this game. Mac Jones, not the answer, shockingly. Jordan and I shared some text messages before church. I'm sure he was praying that Mac Jones was the answer. Do you guys remember when Cam Newton called him mac and cheese because he was like kind of chubby when he first started the league? Do you guys remember that?
I still think that's a good nickname.
Yeah. Anyhow, Jordan,
if Mac Jones is the end, if Mac Jones wins this game, I think we riot. Is that fair to say? You know, it's something they say on social media. If this happens, we riot.
The problem is I could see Jordan just throwing like a Molotov cocktail through my windshield if like that happens.
Win or lose. That might be for totally different reasons.
He's just like watching the game over at his parents' house, and all of a sudden I see something flying and burning coming through my ceiling. I'll know who it is.
Yeah. Or will you?
All right, Jordo, what are we thinking? You have a sleeper, but talk about this game.
That was
weird. So I'll get to my sleeper first. I got Jameson Williams as a sleeper. The Jaguars are bad against the pass. I know they were somewhat decent last week, and like that defense really came to play against the Vikings. After how well they played last week, I think it's an aberration. Like, I don't think that's who they are, you know? And like, now they go on the road to Detroit in the Dome. Like, I don't see how they contain this offense. And I think Jameson Williams catches a deep bomb. I think he catches a bomb. He gets behind that defense. Jameson walked right back into his roll off the suspension, 75% snaps, and 75% snaps and about 5 targets. So walk straight into his normal role, like Jameson Williams a lot in this matchup. I think he gets behind the defense, probably has like a 60-yard bomb from Jared Goff. As far as this game overall, I like St. Brown. I think it's just a really, really strong matchup for the Lions here. Again, I think like the Jaguars, like they had their game last week. That was the game that could have upset a team, you know, with the Vikings. And I think Jared Goff and this Lions offense is like light years ahead of Sam Darnold and the Minnesota offense.
I don't know. You've talked like I agree with everything you're saying, Jordan, but you've talked about emotional wins before on this pod. Do you think that maybe the Lions coming off an emotional win that this bad? Not for Mac Jones. Yeah. Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions in that game and still winning it. Pretty impressive. So Lions, like Jameson Williams, Jordan, it only takes 1. His ADOT is 15 yards. You know, so it's that's a large ADOT. So getting a lot of 46% of his targets are play action. So very easily it just takes one 70-yard bomb and you're very happy you play.
But he also like has some other equity. Like he does run other routes. Like he's not just running go routes. Like he does other stuff. Like he had a couple of nice catches. You know, the one where he got hit from behind and in front. You know, he kind of got sandwiched. Had a nice catch that he held on to. So he looks good.
Yeah. Only thing that scares me is if they just come in here and just run the ball, Jordan. Is the only thing that scares me with this, but it is a sleeper play.
But even if they do run the ball, Trent, that plays in the Jameson Williams' hands because they're gonna hit the play action at least a couple times, right? So
yeah. Okay. Anything else we need to talk about on this game? Anyone you want to play on the Jaguars side with the quarterback play, like Evan Ingram?
Honestly,
I think Evan Ingram. I think you can play Ingram.
That's the only guy I would say is Ingram. Because the Lions aren't that good against the pass. I don't want to play.
No,
Brian
they aren't.
Thomas.
They're not as good against the pass.
Maybe Brian Thomas Jr., but I think Evan Ingram is the only guy. Running backs, terrible matchup. Plus,
you can't play running backs.
We just don't know who the running back is there really. Like, so
it's a timeshare, complete timeshare.
Yeah, I'm going Lions win this one. One pride. The Lions win this cat fight.
Lions.
13.5. Surprise Phil didn't try to take the spread. Go to the next one, Phil.
All right, moving on here. Can you guys hear me?
Unfortunately.
All right, moving on here. We have Seahawks at 49ers. Niners are currently favored 6.5 by 6.5. Seth, you going to this game again this year?
No, unfortunately.
Right. Current total right now is 50. Like I said, the spread is 6.5. Excuse me. Current total is 50.5. Favored. The Niners are 6.5. So no starts, no sits in this game. This should be a good one, though. I actually think it's going to be a little bit better than expected here. Seahawks coming off a bye. Hopefully everyone's healthy, feeling good, although CMC is back in action. I'm really hoping maybe we just lose the rest of these games, Seth, and just pick up Ewers first round next year. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know if I'd want that guy, but anyways.
You don't like Ewers? Who's your QB that you'd want? Please don't tell me Shedeur. You're a Shedeur guy, aren't you?
Shedeur's going to the Raiders.
I think he's yeah, I don't know. I kind of think he's better, to be honest with you.
Shedeur is better than Ewers?
I don't think Dion will let Shedeur go to Seattle, Phil. He said he's going to have a hand.
You think Shedeur is better than Ewers?
Yes.
Wow.
I think it's a weak quarterback class for what it's worth.
I think that is an interesting take.
I would rather the Seahawks not draft a quarterback, honestly.
And just stick it out with Geno?
Yeah. We signed him
get arched the
next
contract.
Yeah, the following. Yeah, Jordan, you might be right there.
Yeah, but I don't think they can tank that much, though. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe. All right, let's talk about this game outside of just me wanting them to draft Quinn Ewers.
CMC is like a minority owner, maybe majority owner of the Seattle Seahawks. Like he goes off on them every single game. Like I think he's had like 6 games.
He's been going off on them since he was a Panther. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. So it's like statistically it's been brought up like he owns the Seahawks. So expect a big game out of him. I think they take the training wheels off a little bit more, maybe leave one on. Not completely sure on that, but he did look pretty good there. How are we thinking like 49, like Seattle passing attack? Like, how do you think about Jackson Smith and the Jigba? He's been playing pretty good, but so he's getting a lot of targets. He's getting 23% of their targets right now. Him and DK are about the same, but DK's missed those games. I don't know if DK is going to play, Seth.
We'll find out. DK full practice. He's playing.
Okay. So you'll have both of these guys going. Wide receivers against Seattle or against the 49ers, they're bottom half. 27th best matchup for wide receivers. So that's a terrible matchup. You got a really good rookie corner over there.
I think the Niners are going to go on a run here at the end of the season. I would lean Seahawks pass catchers, though, just because I think they're going to be down. So Charbonnet maybe over Walker, but
with CMC back, it makes Purdy a lot better. So I'm going to go 49ers win this game. I don't think we need to spend any more time on it. Play your main guys, I would say.
Yep.
So, all right.
Are we all going Niners?
Seahawks? Phil,
I'm going Hawks.
Okay.
Just win, baby.
So you and Seth, you can either go 2 up on Seth or you can go 1-1 now.
Yeah. Just win, baby. I think Pete Carroll said that. All right, moving on here. No one got that joke. That's all right. Bengals at Chargers. Current total right now is
that.
Current total is at 47.5. And the Chargers are favored by 1.5. Bengals, man, I thought they were going to get off to a rough start and really pick things up. Ended up losing that game. What did they say? Joe Burrow threw like 3+ TDs, loses. Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions, wins. Like just not ideal. But this is the game. I personally think that the Bengals are going to win this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my name on the Bengals right now. Sure. But interesting for sure. Anything that we want to talk about here? Higgins is back.
Is Higgins back? Is he back. For sure back?
Yeah, from what I was seeing.
From what is a Sunday night game? Higgins was limited participant on Wednesday. So we are recording this on Wednesday. It's a Chargers side. It got even worse last week, Jordan. They're they decided to just give Haskins a goal line carry just for fun, just to see what happens, and then Gus Edwards, like total committee more. Maybe they're saving J.K. Dobbins for later, but absolute total timeshare right there. And this is like one of those timeshares that you really don't like you bought into it and you were kind of happy at first, but like now you can't get out of it at all.
Trent, I don't know if it really was a timeshare. I mean, JK had 66% snaps.
Carries,
he had
15 carries.
15 carries.
And then Gus Edwards' carries
had 10 carries,
10.
but he played only 25% snaps.
Yeah. His yards per carry were better than JK's. But the TD is what hurt. If JK gets that TD at the end, you feel a lot better about it. But Haskins coming in there, Haskell the rascal, finishing with 6 fantasy points for the 1 carry he had. That was great. That was a straight just kick in the teeth while you're watching Red Zone in the afternoon, as if your day wasn't bad enough anyways.
Haskell the rascal.
It's so stupid right there.
Yeah, vulture boy right there. So yeah. Chargers side,
getting nasty. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think it's a like on the Chargers side of the ball, I don't hate
I like Herbert. I like Herbert.
He's been I talked about in the waiver pod. He's been efficient. He makes the most out of his opportunities, completes passes. He gets you about 2 TDs a game. Bengals side, fire up Chase Brown, fire up Jamar Chase. And I don't know if there's anyone else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chase is on the case. That's what Phil always says. I'm going Chargers win this one. I don't know if there's any sleepers we need to talk about. Like,
I'm going Bengals.
You going Bengals? Quentin Johnson in deep leagues. But
I already said I was going Bengals here.
Yeah, that's why Seth went in it too. So.
Yeah, Seth, you dweeb.
We should have you guys close your eyes. Yeah, exactly. Such a casual.
Right. Moving on here, we have Chiefs at Bills. This should be a good one. Jordan, is this your favorite game of the week? Be honest.
It's a pretty good game.
Please tell me it's snowing in Buffalo.
Sorry,
Phil. Is this game at? Is this game a 1:00 game?
Bills. This should be the prime time game.
Oh, so it's 10 a.m. Pacific. So that means, carry the one there, Trent. It is 1 p.m. Eastern.
You are a liar. It is not.
It's 1:25 Pacific. So,
dude.
This is
so
brutal.
Trent, they did what you asked. The NFL did do what you asked. So stop complaining about the NFL.
What are you talking about? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 1:00 games. We should have 5 1:00 games on the Pacific time zone.
But you said
every single week.
Your exact words were, "Well, yeah, can't teams from the East Coast just play later?" Well,
yeah.
Playing
so
later,
why can't
Trent.
we have? So why can't we have 5? Why do we only have 4? They should have 5. It should be a lot closer. It shouldn't be like I should be watching Red Zone. They're like, well, there's no teams in the Red Zone right now, so we're gonna go over to
no Chiefs. It's at 1:25 to 5 PST. You're acknowledging that, right?
It's at 1:25 Pacific time, Phil.
Correct.
The time.
Yeah.
So they could do. All I'm saying is the NFL could balance this out a little bit better, like I said, and you could have close to the same amount of games in both time slots. You don't have to go,
Trent.
Like
you have YouTube TV, right?
Yes.
Do you have the Sunday? Do you have ticket or you have Red Zone only?
I have Red Zone, but what I'm saying is, Jordan, why can't they just have more? What's the problem? Why do we have to have 9 games in the morning and 4 in the afternoon? Why can't you go 5 and 4 or go? You could do it equal. I don't know why you can't, break it up a little bit more. It's not hard.
I don't know.
There's people.
I kind of like it, to be honest.
You like less games in the afternoon?
I like it because then I can watch every single game.
Okay. And so I don't know. I wouldn't mind just having one more to just flip around. That's all. So anyways,
I kind of agree.
That nonsense. You agree, Seth?
Yeah.
With who?
With Trent a little bit.
It's because you guys are the one TV life. It's not good. You gotta get more than one TV.
Yeah, get some friends, you dummies.
This is so. No, the thing is doesn't matter how many you have 2 TVs. You shouldn't care if there's more games, Jordan. Why are the one TV guys, the guys asking for more games in the afternoon? This is why it doesn't make sense. Your argument doesn't make sense.
Well, 1, I don't watch them at my house. I go to my parents' house to watch the games.
Okay, 2, then don't complain to me about me only having one TV. Then.
I thought you still lived with them.
No, No. Phil. No, here's the thing. Trent. Guess what we do? Guess what I got it done at my parents' house? We bring a second TV in the living room.
Okay. So you do have two TVs. Okay.
Yeah,
so see, Jordan,
house.
I do that. Jordan, I do this. I do put a game on my iPad, and
here's why I like it.
I do have Red Zone on.
This is why I like it, because we have a Sunday ticket, so we can. If there's 4 games on, it was pretty sweet. There was 4 games on. We had the antenna out to watch the Fox game, and then we had the 3 games up on the triple box on the YouTube Sunday ticket. So it kind of worked out to where you just got to watch all 4 games all the same time. Turned off the Red Zone. We don't even watch the Red Zone channel sometimes. So this week we'll have 2 games up on the double box. Have the 3rd game up on the other TV on the antenna or whatever, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'd be cool if like your fantasy matchups weren't completely over by the afternoon always. Like if it just was like, so anyways. That's just my 2 cents there. Maybe we'll get it sometimes. I've seen a lot of people on X complain and want a 3rd time slot on Sundays, like morning, like not just Sunday Night Football. Like you have a 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, a 1 o'clock kickoff. You could do something like that as well. We got Josh Allen and the Chiefs, and historically, Josh Allen actually plays Patrick Mahomes very well in the regular season. I know he's down some weapons. I don't think Keon Coleman's playing. Looks like Amari Cooper might be trending in the right direction. But overall, since 2020, Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen, they're both the 2 most winningest quarterbacks in the NFL. Josh Allen has about 30 more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes in that time span. And I think Josh Allen's like 3-1 versus the Chiefs in the regular season.
Is Kincaid playing?
Doesn't matter with Kincaid. He's been so rough when he plays, but
but he was having a good game last week, and then he got hurt.
Every time I watch the Bills, I feel like I see Kincaid drop a huge pass. Maybe it's just me, but that's just how I feel with that. Let me look that up on Kincaid. So if I come here.
I saw Isaiah Pacheco is out this week, so I think Hunt's pretty good here. I don't like James Cook in this matchup. This Chiefs team is really good against the run. DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, awesome. Mahomes, you just do it. I don't know. You can do what you want with Mahomes. I'm playing him. I think he shows up in this game, rises to the occasion here. I think Shakir is really good.
Yeah, Mahomes has back-to-back games as QB1. That's the first time he's done that since Week 7 last year. So
trending in the right direction, just in time for playoffs. I think Shakir's pretty nice in this spot too. So,
So in the last 6 games against the Chiefs, Josh Allen has a passer rating of 101.2. He's thrown for 1,679 yards, 14 TDs, only 2 interceptions. So he always comes out to play versus the Chiefs in his regular season. I'm not sure what his all-time record is against them, though, in the regular season. Bills are pretty good against the pass. I believe I read that right. But, Jordan, you said the rushing yards, like how tough the Chiefs are against running backs. For example, the Ravens are the 2nd toughest matchup for running backs. They're giving up 56 rushing yards per game. The Chiefs are only giving up 47 rushing yards per game. So they're absolutely brutal against running backs. Like, terrible spot for James Cook. If Josh Allen has no receivers, I don't know who he's throwing the ball to either. So could just be out there running for his life. Yeah, running for his life, playing a YOLO ball, I guess we could call it. So latest stuff here. Amari Cooper was limited in practice. Curtis Samuel was full participant in practice. Keon Coleman did not practice, and Kincaid did not practice. So you're not playing DeAndre Hopkins in this game, Seth?
No.
He's been playing pretty good. He's been having some good games.
I just like Cedric Tillman more this week.
Okay. Bills against the pass are the Bills against the pass?
It's solid. It's like middle of the road.
Yeah. 21st best matchup. So a little towards the bottom half. This is one of those. You're going Chiefs. Bill, you going Chiefs, going Bills.
This is what I want. I'm going to say, man, I'm going to say Bills, but I almost want the Chiefs to win so that the Bills will win next time they play. You get what I'm saying? You're going to get that vibe.
I see what you're saying.
Seth, what did you say?
Cool.
I said Chiefs.
If I knew Mahomes had a little bit more firepower, I just don't think he has the firepower to get it done. Like it's going to be Matt Collins and Shakir.
Wait, you talking about? Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Sorry,
You
did
said
I say
if
that?
Mahomes.
Sorry, I meant to say I don't think Josh Allen has enough talent to get it done this time. Like the pass catchers just aren't there. Yeah, Matt Collins and Shakir. I'm going to go with it's in Buffalo. I think this would be a good game, but I'm going to go Chiefs win this one. They're just finding ways to win. They blocked a field goal last week. Saw something that what is it? I think the Chiefs are like 9 points away from being 500 or something. I saw a crazy stat like that. Don't want to bring up the whole thing because when I do stuff like that from memory, I end up sounding like a wacko. So, Bill, what do we have next?
Just for what it's worth, it's not only when you do that, but next game that we have, Raiders at Dolphins.
Hilarious.
Current total right now is 44.5. Miami is favored by 7.5. Is Cheetah hurt? Did he hurt his neck? He said he hurt his neck. His wrist. I thought it was his neck.
Said he hurt his wrist in the offseason. Then when he got arrested, it aggravated it. So
no,
Phil, you should let him borrow your brace.
He said he got
those carpal tunnel braces you wear, Phil. You should lend them to him.
He said he got injured when he was celebrating with OBJ. He hurt his neck.
Oh, he said that too?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't see that. Dolphins aren't fun, Jordan. It's like Devaughn Achane. I don't think Mo starts the second string running back anymore. This could be a game where all three running backs get a touchdown there for the Dolphins, though. You're playing. I think Tyreek Hill's averaging 10 fantasy points per game. That's like the lowest he's ever been. I don't think you have to play Waddle if you don't want to. Jonnu Smith is not a terrible play. Raiders. Who do you want to play on the Raiders? This Dolphins defense is pretty good.
It's just A-Chain. I just like A-Chain. A-Chain, Tyreek. Like I like A-Chain.
Bowers probably or no?
Yeah, Brock Bowers. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Dolphins win this game.
Yeah. No way. I'm taking the Raiders.
Dolphins.
Yeah, it is in. Where is this one at? Yeah, in Miami. Yeah, it's gonna be hotter on the Raiders side. Yeah, they got that little microwave set up for the away side.
I'm going Miami as well.
What we got next, Phil?
It felt good until Odell slammed my back out. That kind of hurt me, heel told. So anyhow,
he's just getting old. That's like something that would happen to me, Phil, or you. More you. Like, yeah. My buddy picked me up. And
someone can run fast and do a backflip.
Yeah. That's you're still naming
and
me.
It's Trent.
You do a backflip, Seth?
No.
Then
I'm surprised you can.
All right, moving on here. We have Rams at Patriots. That must have been an inside joke because I honestly didn't get it. But
yeah, Rams when you say inside, it might have just been with himself. So I'm sure he's dying laughing inside. So what do you have next, Phil?
Giggling to himself quietly. All right, man. Rams at Patriots. Current total is 44.5. Rams currently favored by 4.5. I feel like this is a Jordy game. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to Seth. Seth, you're a Rams guy. I know Jordan loves Sean McVay, but I know you do too a little bit. Talk to us about this game. What do you think? Give us a breakdown.
I think the Rams are just going to throw the ball over the Patriots. I think Puka Nacua is going to have a really good game.
Okay. And will he punch anyone?
No, I don't think he'll do that again.
Yeah. For all of those of you who are in leagues where you get fantasy points for punching players, which not a terrible like bonus point, honestly. Like the guys get ejected, you should just give them like 5 fantasy points for that.
The other thing that we failed to talk about swinging on people. Seth, you should thank your lucky stars that you weren't a kicker. Did you see what Deebo Samuel did to their kicker?
It's true.
I did.
Yeah,
that was. I think it was more directed at the long snapper, but I mean, I understand the frustration, but it's like, Debo, we've seen you drop balls plenty of times,
Yeah. Anyone who's played football has wanted to, maybe swing at a kicker, but you just got to keep your cool, right? Like I'm not saying that was the right thing to do. And maybe the right thing to say is want to swing on a kicker that we're watching, not a teammate, right? That might be the right thing to say. So
yeah, you don't really like. I don't condone fighting. I'm not a fighting man. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I would have if
he
you
loves
are
the
a
UFC.
I do love the UFC. If you are a snapper and a kicker and you don't gang up on the guy who's throwing blows with your compadre, like what are you doing, man? Like I think there's some like Dan Campbell would not have that. Dan Campbell would be like, bro, if someone's picking on your boy, step up and get his back. That guy was holding him back. They both should have just rat packed Debo and just wailed on him right there on the sideline. Makes me sick.
You not fight on. Okay.
Okay, I'm taking the Rams to win this game.
I'm going to go Rams.
I am Rams.
I like this Drake May spot, though. I think he's to be throwing the whole game. Only thing I'm saying that you can play Drake May in a deep, deep league if you got to stream someone. Rams.
Thanks, all right. Moving on to Colts Jets. We can go through this game even quicker. Colts at Jets. Current total is 43.5. Indianapolis is -3.5.
This is going to be an ugly game.
Pittman's back. Is Anthony Richardson starting?
He's the starting quarterback.
Yes.
He got named again starter. I forgot about that.
Just play Jonathan Taylor and call it good. Like you can't
and Devontae. Come on, Tay.
No. Jonathan Taylor on the Colts side.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce has had some big boom games if you want to just, live on the edge. You want to live on the edge, Jordan? Like
punch this guy the next time you see him, Jordan.
On the Jets side, it's just the big three. The big three and Jonathan Taylor and call it good in this game.
All right. Cool. I am taking the Jets.
I'm going the Jets.
The New York Jets.
I kind of want to do something regrettable here and go with the Colts with how bad the Jets have been. But our Jets.
Trent, can you give us a reason to start Anthony Richardson?
Your whole life is regrettable. Don't take something that's going to be in your favor. Come on.
Fair point. I wish I could argue that. I can't. Just looking at history. Maybe he runs
still rollerblade through town. That's the most regrettable thing you do.
People are not calling Sauce Gardner Sauce on X anymore. Accounts are referring to him as Ahmed Gardner because in order to be called Sauce, you need to be a good corner in the NFL is what people are saying. So that is a thing that's going on right now. I'm going to go Jets.
Are you still rollerblading with yogis through town or no?
I haven't rollerbladed in some time.
Mask?
What's a roller?
What? Phil, what's the next game?
From left field.
Am I wrong?
What on earth?
We're wrong.
You are such Seth, you need
I've seen it. That kind of looked like the shape of Trent on rollerblades. You can imagine.
I think you saw it, then you woke up, you weirdo. Phil, what we got next?
Was the nice dream.
Oh my goodness. You guys are sick. All right, moving on here. Texans versus Cowboys. Current total right now is 42.5. Houston is favored by 7.5. Trent, just down bad, man. You're getting it from all angles. The Texas battle. Shoot them.
It's gonna be a Texas beatdown.
Amarillo by morning. All right.
That's not the right song, Phil, right now.
That's Austin and Houston.
It's more of all my exes live in Texas. No. It's bad. You guys just want to walk away for like 45 minutes? I think I'm just going to scream. I'm going to have one of those like freak out videos you've been seeing on like X lately of people just like screaming at the camera mad. Like, I think I want to go on like a Cowboys strike. Just like I'm not watching them. I might shave my head. I don't know.
I want a food strike. Just go on it.
I will do something he does every week and shave his head.
Sign on X. It says, I will not eat till the Cowboys win. Yeah, people be praying. That's messed up. I'm gonna go. It's bad. It's ugly. Parsons looked good though. Phil's making fun of the Cowboys. He was texting me like, "Hey, dude, Parsons looked pretty good in this game." Like,
I was afraid for your mental health, dude. Like, I was trying to gas you up a little bit.
Phil's gassing me up. I thought he was my friend. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. I don't know why I've made that so many times.
I didn't realize Overshawn was on the team. That's my bad.
What's his name? What's the guy's name? That one line. Cowboys defense didn't look bad. Diggs didn't give up one pass completion. I'm just, glass is a quarter full.
Trent, they suck. Just come on here and say my team sucks. Like I did with the Jaguars. The Cowboys suck.
So you think Diggs is bad because he didn't give up one catch the whole entire game? That's bad.
No, but you're trying.
The offense is terrible, Jordan. The offense is garbage. They had 45 passing yards. It's awful. Seth has a bloody nose on the pod. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a nanny. Oh my goodness. Go to YouTube at TFF Dudes. Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. I was like,
he's going to go put a boo-boo bunny on his nose next. Like, oh my goodness, what a fairy. Okay. Yeah.
I am sick.
Cowboys are bad. It's bad. Cowboys are bad, but they don't have a bloody nose yet. So I'll go with that. I'm going to say Texans win this game. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. You can
Houston.
Dallas side, you can play CeeDee Lamb and pray that the curtains are covered, but it's a Sunday night game. So outside of CeeDee Lamb and Dottle, I don't want to.
Why don't you invite us over anymore? We used to do fun things like go to Trent's house for football games and things like that. Now we don't get to do that.
You want to come Sunday night? Phil wants me to invite people to my house Sunday night, knowing good and well he will not be there. So that is a great idea.
Monday night, I think, isn't it?
No, it's Sunday night. That's the problem with this one.
You didn't change the thing.
All right, it's Monday night. I'm pretty sure
it's Monday night.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe Phil. I don't know. Are you busy on Monday? That'll determine whether I want to do it or not. Because if you are, I might do it. Texans all the way across.
I did a pork shoulder yesterday, and that thing was fantastic. I'm like, I got to get the boys together. Seth to watch a game.
Put it in your crock pot.
No, I did not. I put it on the
pork shoulder in a crock pot is amazing.
Oh no, I did it on the smoker. You're not wrong. I just think it tastes better on the smoker. All right, moving on to Packers and Bears. I'm still laughing at Trent going off at Seth for the bloody nose. All right,
I don't know. I'm sick, man. My nose is killing me.
Oh, are you sick? Are you sick?
He's bleeding again. He's bleeding again. No one makes him bleed his own blood.
That's sad. Sorry.
Does your face hurt, Seth?
No, my nose is just like raw.
It's killing me.
It's killing me. All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, get a life, dude. All right, Packers.
Seth should not be making jokes saying that my jokes are no good. He made a joke about me doing backflips and died laughing, and no one knows what he was even talking about. So.
I didn't even laugh.
Yeah, it was so funny. You didn't even laugh. Okay, next, Phil. Packers, Bears. I think Phil's frozen, so.
No, it's okay.
Struggling reading.
Packers versus Bears. Current total is 41.5. Green Bay is currently favored by 5.5. What do we want to talk about here?
This one, the Bears. Jacobs.
Jaden Reed.
Maybe Jordan Love, maybe. Like, Bears are decently tough against the pass. DeAndre Swift, anyone outside of the Bears besides him? I don't think he would play anyone else. And I don't even love DeAndre Swift.
I think it's just Swift.
Every night before I go to bed, I think about dropping DJ Moore after the last couple of weeks. It's tough. It's messing with my mental health. Not really, but yeah. I'm going Packers win this one.
Packers.
Yep. Cheese.
Pack.
Head over to YouTube. You can see Seth with something white hanging out of his nose. I'm not sure what that is, but it is.
All right.
It'll be Pokemon Boosh.
All right. We have Vikings at Titans. Current total right now is 40.5. Minnesota is currently favored by 5.5. What are we talking about here, boys?
I actually really like Calvin Ridley in this spot.
What'd you say, Jordan?
I like Calvin Ridley a lot here in this spot.
Yeah,
so.
Keep firing him up for sure.
He's getting a ton of volume, ton of targets. Vikings past Stevens is pretty gettable. So, yeah.
What are we thinking? It's a bad spot for the Vikings side, like outside Jefferson. Addison's not doing anything.
Play Jefferson and Jones and call it good.
Maybe Hawkinson.
Yeah, Hawk too.
Yeah. And I think that kind of does it, guys. You know, we had a
I got Minnesota.
Got Minnesota skull candy.
Vikings
Bill?
here.
Vikings.
I'm going Vikings.
All right, guys, that does it. We remember to check these guys out on the DFS show on Friday. Hopefully Seth knows doesn't bleed. Had an action-packed pod, guys. We talked about, time zones, slates, pumpkin spice lattes, bloody nose. We laughed. We cried. Seth cried. We did it all, guys. We will see you next time. I'll see you on Monday, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, guys, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.